and what are the remedial measures that we can look at to reduce the work content, to reduce the excess work content, not to reduce. So excessive work content can creep in because of the defects in the design process. So how to avoid defects in the design stage so that any excess work content can be minimized. So here we said like one is going for standardization. So anyway, I told the crowd that standardization, like these mass production systems are still redundant, are good for at component level production, like using spark plugs or uh, producing what do you call it, 1 terabyte hard disk or 2 terabyte hard disk. Um, so Intel chips, they still follow mass production systems only. But at the product level, like T model, like now you can't go for mass production so confidently at the product level because like people are now looking for variety. So you have to approach the product design in terms of modular designs so that you can give some kind of customization for each and every consumer. So anyway, like uh, another important point is to reduce the number of iterations in your design iterations. You better do proper consumer market and product research, right? Like for example, you know the famous company, the famous company that is Toyota company. It used to do a lot of consumer and product research on a, what pleases a customer. Say, for example, once they were displaying their new car in a busy marketplace, and they were asking only one question, and that question for most of you it may look silly, but for them they said like it is an important part of our product development. And what is that question that they were asking all the general public who are coming to that marketplace was what they expect from a car door. They were not asking about the entire product, entire car. They were only asking about only one particular component of car, that is car door. Initially, consumers were also taken back. How come these guys are not asking about the car, but ended up asking only about the car door? So then slowly people started giving their requirement from a car door. They said like it should be easily closed, you should easily opened, right? Road noise should not come into the car because they want to enjoy their music, stereo music from FM radio. Like that, they started giving lot of inputs, and that's why like in you can see the that difference. Particularly, a person like me, I can see the difference between how easily you can put a car door of any Toyota car and the way you close the car door of a conventional ambassador car. Sometimes an ambassador car door has to be
Much force.
closed. Huh?
We have to give lot of momentum.
So, whereas the Tata car door doesn't take much effort to close it or open it, right? So that is what we mean by like collect lot of information and then mm, incorporate while making the incorporate all those requirements in the form of technical and process requirement of the making. Similarly, product development and value analysis will reduce excess work content due to design defects and removal of excess material. So that means you do like value analysis again is a beautiful tool to reduce the excess work content in a product. So unfortunately, we don't study this subject as part of our BTech program. So normally it is reserved at the MTech level, that too in industrial engineering. Value analysis is again one of the great byproducts of World War II. Just like we have lot of byproducts of World War, uh, this is also. So what in value in simple terms, what we do in value analysis is we try to increase the value of the product, but without degradation in the performance of the or functional aspects of the product. So like for example, we have famous examples like where they have substituted by brass gears with nylon gears. So with that substitution, without degradation in the performance, they can reduce they increase the value of the product, because making nylon gears is very simple, because once you make a mold, plastic mold of that nylon gear, you can produce as many nylon gears you want. Whereas a brass gear, every time you have to cast it, then machine it. So each gear has to be done. You have to repeat the whole process for each gear, right? But whereas that kind of situation doesn't arise for and once you make a substitute a brass gear with a nylon gear. So similarly, like so, you have to like there is a subject called design for manufacturing and assembly. So in product development, what you do is whenever you are developing a new product, you also look into what is its implication. If you are coming with certain shape and size, what are the kind of constraints that this particular shape and size will have a bearing on manufacturing difficulty or easiness. So you have to come up with a uh, product um, component shape and size in a way that it should easily it can be you can easily act as you can easily produce it or even assemble it. Like for example, now people are see, because why we are looking at ease of assembly is because assembly costs are now dominating because of labor costs, increased labor costs. So now sometimes now people are looking at even one option of avoiding totally the assembly of a product by going for additive manufacturing. So in 3D, the so-called 3D printing or rapid prototyping, right? So people are looking at how to reduce the excess work content by through product innovation in terms of both product innovation as well as process innovation. So for a process innovation in the form of using additive manufacturing technology or directly going for plastic based components instead of metal based components, because plastic based components will reduce the excess work content in by orders of magnitude. Just like nowadays you see now, now the cost of chair has become very cheap thanks to molded chairs. So if you look at molded chair, it is not an assembled product. The entire chair is done in one single shot. See, one of the requirements of or one of the quality performance metrics we we take for saying that this product is excellently designed. One of the criteria is, have you reduced the number of components that are needed to assemble a product? the less the number of components that a product needs to assemble it, the better is the design. Because assembly costs are now high because of the labor costs. So you look at the product in a way like where you reduce the excess work content, right? And then anyway, like we hear another tool that we can use in improving the quality of the design, right? Thereby avoiding a lot of iterations in the product design. One is quality function deployment. In fact, this is QFD is the tool Toyota was using to come up with the best design for its car door. So anyway, we will discuss about this quality function deployment in when we talk about quality management. In depth, we will go in depth in about how this quality function deployment will help us in improving our quality of design. See, quality of manufacturing is different from quality of design. So if your quality of design is good means that means you have your design is so good like it might sometimes even delight the customer. You feel so much happy that the about usage of the product. Right now, coming to how to reduce excess work content due to the process. So let us see like uh, so reduce work content due to the process. So what is the one of the ways is process planning ensures selection of machines, right? Then process planning and research ensure correct operation of processes. So in fact, like every company, particularly this is very important. Process planning is very important, particularly in job order and to some extent batch type of production system. Particularly in job order production system, because every product is different, you have to come up with an optimal process plan. What is the sequence of operations that you should do to realize the final shape of the product or component? Mostly the final shape of the component. It may be carburetor, producing carburetor. See, carburetor, to produce a carburetor in an automobile, there are a lot of sequence of steps. So you have to find out what is the optimal sequence. All right. So in fact, like if we recall our functional organ structure recommended by our hero, that is Frederick Winslow Taylor, who is looking after this process planning? Can you guess?
Sir,
Who is the, what is the functional foreman's name that he said like who will be looking after this process planning? Can you guess? See, he was recommending 8 functional foremans now. So who will be looking after this process planning?
boss, no, specialist, some specialist, management specialist.
So this is the job of root clerk. So root clerk will work out what is the sequence of operations that you sequence of operations as well as the machines that has to be used to realize from raw material situation to finished component, right? Whereas the gang boss, he, he is a counterpart to root clerk who will actually sitting in the shop floor and ensuring that whatever the route decided by the root clerk is followed on the shop floor, right? So Whereas coming to process planning and research, ensure correct operation of processes. So here, which clerk and boss are involved in this second stage? Hmm? Instruction clerk. And there on his counterpart in the shop floor was speed boss. So instruction clerk will give, right? He will instructions. He will give like how much feed and depth of cut and the speed one has to use if a component comes to a lathe machine. Suppose if the same component goes to a milling machine, then what should be the whether one should go for down milling or up milling, or what kind of end cutter one should use, at what speed that end cutter should rotate, what should be the feed that should be given to the table, right? So instruction clerk counterpart is speed boss, because he will tell you, he will check with the operator whether whatever the recommendation given by instruction clerk is followed by the worker or not, whether he is actually putting the right amount of RPM on the spindle, whether he is using he has set the feed right auto feed, depth of cut, whether the cutting tool is good or not. So this is the kind of thing that speed clerk should check up. So process planning is a very, very important step in the manufacturing. Particularly, it can help us in reducing the excess work content. See, sometimes, like if the instruction clerk or speed boss, if he himself is not a good guy, he will keep say he will design the process plan in a lopsided way, where it may end up either you have a lot of backtracking, or the component becoming waste, because he has specified a what you call wrong sequence of operations on a particular component, right? Like that can involve putting proper datum surfaces for the component. All that issues are there. So, and then third one is process planning and method study to ensure correct selection of tools. So, like tools means jigs and fixtures. What kind of jigs one should use? What kind of fixtures? How I can ensure that with the use of proper jig and fixture, how I can ensure that the every component that is produced is identical. So similarly, like what should be the frequency with which he should change the cutting tool? How much? Say like if you take a single point cutting tool, see there is always wear and tear.
Tool
So
life.
huh?
There
Yeah,
is
there is a
tool
tool
life.
life. No? So based on the tool life, expected tool life of the cutting tool, you should try to change it at appropriate place, time. So like that means these are the like correct selection of tools. So whether one can go for whether one should go for a machining center or a simple lathe, turret lathe or capstan lathe. So many options are there. So here one has to do a bit of process research, so that any work, any excess work content due to wrong selection is minimized. Right? So method fourth point is method study reduces work content due to bad layout. So as I told you, like being the first in the series of NITs or RACs, our institute was not optimally designed in terms of layout. It is like we haphazardly put our resources in a scattered way, right? There was no systematic or scientific investigation on how to put our layout optimally so that there is a minimum travel for the or the minimum movement for the or optimal movement for the student to have his to complete his job during daytime as part of his academic requirement, right? So academic as well as personal requirement. So I told you now, like in some of the latest NITs, anyway, they are a bit careful about layouts of various facilities for the students. Like here, only in NIT Warangal, you can see like most of the services that are required by what do you call students, they are very, very scattered. Bank is on the main road, post office in the deep in the other side of the campus, barber shop is somewhere else, dry cleaning shop is somewhere else, your food court is somewhere else. So, like in one way, if you want to look at it in a positive way, maybe you are making the uh, student to have a bit of exercise, right, to reduce his mm, to improve his health. What is this only thing? What is it? Amula? Only thing planned is Amula. Okay. So, so here, what I mean to say is that like, uh, so proper. So, and then anyway, we have seen like, what is the tool that we use to improve layouts while discussing production management? What is the tool that is used? What method study tool that is used to improve a layout? Any guess? See,
Type
method study
testing.
consists of various tools. Huh? Don't go to Lean Six Sigma. Na. So such like what do you call fancy things you need not use. You can use these very simple tools to improve situations. Not total quality management. Here in method study, there are a lot of tools available within method study. The tool that is most suitable for improving the layout is travel chart, which we have discussed as the last part of our production management chapter. So we have seen,
Total
like,
distance.
huh?
Number of times a tool
Uh,
goes to some workshop
yeah.
is
So we are trying to reduce the total number of trips, the total distance that is traveled by the given product or part. So as to because transportation is one of the most non-value added activity because if you move a part from one place to another place, it doesn't get any extra value addition, but it is a nuisance value. If you can do a, if you can realize a component in one go at one place, that is beautiful. Like, like for example, you take instead of using a combination of lathe, milling machine, and gear hobbing machine, now you have a concept called machining centers, in which all of these operations, both uh, turned features, prismatic features, everything can be realized in one single setup. Thereby, you are reducing the total movement of the part. So, see, like just like I told you, like if you can do it at one time, one shot, that is best. Like I told you, molded chair. See, to make it the part or product need not move here and there. There is no need for even for assembly line. If you take a molded chair like Neil Kamal or some plastic chair, there is absolutely like they have totally removed the need for assembly of the product itself. That's why we say it is an ideal one. Then coming to method study and operator training, reduce work content due to bad working methods. So for the last one, what is the best example you can recollect? Hmm?
In FW Taylor, they used to use any size of shovels and everything.
Yes.
That is bad method. We can improve that, like by
So,
choosing the appropriate size.
yeah. So method study and operator training reduce work content due to bad working methods. See, in that shovel experiment, what Taylor has found is the most of the workers they are coming with their own tools from home. If one will, depending on his ability or you say like his own constraint, if one will, or depending on like say whatever he has access to. So what Taylor has found is that sometimes workers are lifting beyond their capacity and getting tired. So for example, when they were using the same type of shovel to lift a very light material like limestone as well as a heavy density material like pig iron. So they are getting easily tired when they are lifting pig iron and they are unnecessarily wasting their time by lifting too small amounts of limestone per trip. So he said like ultimately, so he scientifically and did the analysis and he what he recommended is depending on the type of material one should use the appropriate shovel. So to lift and he for that first of all he solved the basic problem that is the optimal weight a worker should lift so that he doesn't get easily tired. And he found that it is 22 lbs. So now what he did now, so he was using only method study. That means carefully looking at the postures, the way workers are doing. What Taylor did is, first of all, he has identified what is the optimal weight a worker can lift throughout the day. And from that, what he did is, he started designing shovel for each type of material that the worker is handling. Like for example, he recommended a small type of shovel, and in one push of the shovel takes only 10 kg or 22 lbs. Similarly, the shovel that he recommended for lifting limestone or weed husk is appropriately shaped so that in one push they end up lifting the same amount of weight. So from that, by using method study, yeah, it is a kind of process optimization now. So what he do ultimately what is the result? And he also said never use your back muscles when you are bending. You better bend your knees rather than back to lift any heavy loads because thigh muscles are stronger than back muscles. So by scientifically analyzing the work situation, our tailor could improve the productivity of the worker from 12 tons per day to 45 tons per day. So, so here method study can help us to improve the productivity by carefully analyzing the how people are using. Like for example, method study, like it will recommend the right kind of selection of correct selection of tools, correct selection of tools in the form of say shovel design or usage of pulleys, levers, right? Like or multi-functional tools. Like why Swiss Army knife is has become so famous. Swiss Army knife on a single tool, they have incorporated around 17 functions. That means for every function, they need not go around, right? 17 functions, right from a mini screwdriver to nail cutter to can opener, they could incorporate 17 functions. Similarly, now you take our mobile. Mobile is a multifunctional tool. It is your personal secretary. It will tell you like, you see, previously people used to have their own personal secretary to type in letters, to dictate something to somebody, or to connect calls to somebody. But now everything is rolled into one. It can even check your BP, sugar, right? So almost now it can book tickets for you. It can do bank transactions. Now you are using even for 5 rupees or 10 rupees, you are using Beam app or phone pay or whatever uh, app you are using, right? So anyway, so here unified payment interface. Now coming to uh, the way to improve reduce the ineffective time due to the management. So what people are saying is that marketing and specialization reduce due to product. So you do a bit of uh, idle time due to product variety, right? Uh, so which tool comes to your mind for this?
Sir,
Hello? See, the is BCG matrix. BCG matrix can, like for example, like it will BCG matrix will help you to identify what are your dogs, what are your what you call question marks. Have you seen yesterday's news on GM? Not GM, GV, GE? Like now, GE is trying to prune their what do you call their company. For example, their financial arm is not working well. They want to sell it off. See, people doesn't want to carry team like just like Ford has decided that we should wind up operations in India because it is not generating any extra profit. In fact, it has become a drain. Already GM has gone. So people doesn't want to spend their time and effort. Probably it might have seen some opportunity to enter into IT sector. GE. Actually, GE is already there in IT sector. And but see, Genpact and all those things are part of their IT divisions only. but probably they might be, they want to vigorously penetrate into that. So here, like reduce your, see, trim your product portfolio. Then standardization reduces idle time due to short runs. So say like what is the example I have given for this? Could you recollect? Hmm? See, one of the, I told you, na, like why Apple computers are costlier than IBM compatible personal computer is because
They don't standardize. I mean, they don't use.
ah, like Apple ended up using only their own proprietary chips, whereas IBM, when it wants, when it wanted to kill Apple, they went for standard peripheral chips that are already available in the market. So they need not. They need not. So that's why IBM PC, when it was introduced, it was a third of the cost of Apple PC. That is the order of magnitude of price difference between Apple PC and IBM PC. Because IBM ended up using standard peripheral chips to reduce the production costs. Because already they are available on the in the market, all those component chips. So they could reduce and they could come up with a PC which is one third the price of Apple PC, because they have gone for standard parts instead of going for a their own proprietary technology, right? So anyway, each one has its own advantages or disadvantages. For example, like Apple products are chosen by people like who are a bit rich and who want to be special, right? See, there is nothing wrong, like because the target markets that IBM is targeting is different from the segment market segment which Apple is addressing. Like Apple segment is mainly targeting the high-end customers. So naturally, it wants to prove something, saying that the to own a Apple is a prestige symbol. So anyway, Apple has its own profits. It was doing well. Now it is now one of the five giants of market capitalization, right? Because now Apple is also $1 trillion company, like Facebook and Microsoft and Amazon. And now the fifth one has joined. That is, what is it? Fifth or sixth one, Tesla. So so product development reduces ineffective time due to uh, changes in design. Anyway, we said like for that you have to use the tools like QFD and those kind of things. Production based on work measurement reduce idle time due to bad planning. All right. So mm, you use proper work measurement to reduce idle. Then material control reduces idle time due to lack of materials. So you plan your raw material requirement properly, right? So and that means have some kind of buffer material. But again, too much buffer is also bad. All right. And then maintenance reduces idle time of men and machines due to breakdowns. So proper maintenance of the machines is also very important. Maintenance reduces ineffective time due to plant in bad condition, right? So like safety issues, like whether there are any vulnerable points where accidents can happen. So you try to remove them, right? Improved working conditions enable workers to work steadily. Like that means whether the workers have good ventilation, good lighting, whether they need to be provided with air conditioned environment, right? And then safety measures reduce ineffective time due to accidents, right? Firefighting equipment and then other emergency exits, providing emergency exits, right? And proper training can reduce that. And then the last one is the sound personal policy and the incentives reduce ineffective time due to absence. So sometimes you declare employee of the month or employee of the year or employee of the week. And then personal policy and operator training reduce ineffective time due to carelessness. All right. So how is your HR department is working? What kind of incentives it is reducing to reduce the carelessness at the workplace. Safety training reduces the ineffective time due to accidents. So these are the measures which one can think of to reduce the work content of the job. Okay. So anyway, like we will uh, in the next class we will take up work study, right? So which is one of the main tool people were using to improve productivity on a shop floor. And this father of work study, he is none other than our Frederick Winslow Taylor. And there is a mother kind of guy who is very specialized in method study, that is uh, Gilbert, Frank Gilbert. Okay. So anyway, we will talk about these two people and this particular technique, how this technique like method study and work measurement can improve the productivity on a shop floor. So with this, we come to end of this particular session. So we will take up, uh, um, shall we, unless you have some doubts, I think we can call it a day.
Thank you, sir.
Shall I exit?